Hey, good evening. I'll be playing a game of Mage Knight Solo Conquest on my own, using Tovak as the main character and Goldix as the dummy player. Unfortunately, I lost Tovak's figurine, so I'll be using Goldix as the figurine. So as you watch the video, just take note of that. I'm definitely not a very advanced player. I've owned this game for about maybe three or 4 years, and I've only played maybe about 20 games or 30 games at most. So I'm definitely not like the best player in the world, but I have read a lot of the theory crafting, I guess, and from the BGG forums and from some other sources. So I feel like I'm relatively knowledgeable. I do get some of the rules mixed up sometimes, so I'll have to go into the rulebook to get those correct. But as I play the game, I'm not going to be explaining every single card, every single rule. I'm going to be playing relatively at the pace I tend to play on myself. So if you are new to Mage Knight, please look up Ricky Royale. Ricky Royale, he's a pretty good tutorial out there for learning how to play the game. There's a lot of walkthroughs and play-by-email forums as well. Those are excellent resources to learn how to play. This video is not that. So if you are not familiar with how to play Mage Knight, please do not watch this video until you get comfortable. Other than that, I'll go through some of the choices I make throughout the game and go through the struggles of a regular Mage Knight Solo Conquest game. So enjoy. I've got a pretty good opening, actually. It's pretty easy. Only 6 movement to get to the monastery, or I could use 5 if I want to provoke the orcs there. But right now I have a lot of movement cards, so I'm just gonna use 2 and 6 using the gold mana to move onto the monastery, going around. And I'm gonna try and recruit, I believe. I'm gonna start out with great early bird. So the bot player, which will be Goldix, will be taking Mana Steal. So I won't be able to use that in this game. I do want to get the golems, but realistically, with my hand, I think scouts is really the only option I have. So I'm gonna burn the rest of my hand just to get, I'm gonna get the scouts. It's probably the cheapest in influence, and I won't have to burn. I don't have the mana to get the golems anyway, so let's just do that. So I'm gonna spend 2 influence on threaten and play these sideways. So I'm gonna grab the scouts and recruit them, and I'll clean up my hand. My next hand will be, oh, that's pretty good actually. Yeah, that's pretty good, perfect for combat. Unfortunately, Goldix, the bot player, drew green, so I'm going to have to draw 2 more cards, so he's going pretty fast this turn. This is probably one of the most perfect hands I've had for combat. So I'm going to spend 4 using Rage to block, and I will spend a red mana, or dang, that's fine. I'm going to spend a white mana to get 3 ranged combat plus 2 instinct. That's 5 damage. So I completely blocked this dude, and I was able to kill him and take no damage, which is pretty surprising for me. But that's pretty good. I think I'm going to hold on to mana draw for another time, and that means I get 3 experience, so 1, 2, 3. I have leveled up. It's rampaging, so I get 1 positive reputation. I'll just put it over here. So for my level up, I do get a advanced action card and a skill from Tovak. I'm really tempted to take pathfinding. I tend to neglect movement, so I'm going to take pathfinding. That'll let me move around this game a lot easier, and hopefully I won't have to take another movement card. So this will go on the top of my deck. Since this is my first level up, I don't have a choice of Goldix's skills yet, but of the two from Tovak, I have Cold Swordsmanship or Who Needs Magic? So it seems to benefit from not using mana from the source, which I feel like I always want to do. I'm going to take Cold Swordsmanship. It's a lot easier to use, so I'm going to get rid of this one. And cleaning up, my new hand will be Mana Draw, Pathfinding, Promise, and Cold Toughness. Let's see what the dummy player gives me. 2, 3, blue. I have to draw one more. So, dummy player is going through his deck relatively fast. I have to figure out if I need to speed up or slow down. I've already spent actually most of my hand, so I can probably slow down. I have 3 cards left to draw. So let's see if I can make the most of my turn. I could buy agility with some of the influence I have in my hand using Promise, but I think I'd rather walk to the dungeon and rest there for the turn, just so I'll have a full hand to attack the brown unit. So all I'll need to do is spend a green mana to move this 2 spaces. Yeah, I think I think I'll end up doing that. So I'm at the dungeon. My new hand is March, yeah. That's fine. Let's see what the dummy player does. Red, so that's pretty good. So he's slowing down a little bit. Honestly, with the hand I have, this is probably not the best time to go attack. Especially with dungeons, I'm not able to use the units I have on hand. Not that the scouts were really good at attacking anyway. So I've got 8 attack, so what I'm going to do is skip range combat, take the 4 damage, which is 2 wounds in my hand, and do the 8 damage directly to him using my scouts, my skill, and 5 cards sideways. That's a total of 8. So I did kill him, which is pretty lucky for me. So since this is a dungeon, I'm able to get a reward from this. And for dungeons, I'll roll a die to see what I get for the reward. So let's hope it's an artifact. White. Yes, white means I get an artifact. So let's see what 2 choices I get from the deck here. Okay, Circlet of Proficiency or Banner of Courage. I won't be able to predict what kind of units I'll get in the future. Especially with Banner of Courage, I don't know if I'm going to get a good elite unit, but I think the Circlet will be useful no matter what. So I'm taking this one and discarding the Banner of Courage. Only thing I get from that battle is 4 experience. I'm just 1 away from... I have 2 wounds in my hand, so I'm going to draw 3 cards, which is the rest of my deck. And it's not... I'm not sure if I'll be able to get into the forest, but ideally I'd like to get in there. Let's see what the dummy player does. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So he has 1 card left in his hand, so this is my... I think I have 2 more turns at this point. 3 more turns. At the end of my last level up, I forgot to draw Goldix's 1 skill I get in the common offer. And it's... oh, mana crystal generation is always nice. I can't get it right now, but maybe next level up, or if I use my circlet correctly. So let's see how that goes. So with the circlet, I'm able to actually be able to use some of these skills in the skill offer. And the bottom portion, if I burn this card, I can actually take a skill for the rest of the game. So that's an interesting choice. I definitely want to hold on to it, maybe until later to see what my options are. For now, these are the only 2 I have in my offer. And I can take this normally with the level up, so we'll see how, I'll hold on to this for now, most likely. So I'm going to use the Swiftness 2, turn this sideways for 3 movement, which gets me into the Magical Glade. And with this I can heal and get a gold token at the end of my turn. So that's going to be the end of my turn. I'll get this for the beginning of my next turn, and I get to heal 1 wound. And the dummy player will announce end of round right now. My last turn will basically be using that golden token to get... What do people say usually your first mana should be? I'm gonna get blue, actually no, green. White or green? Green because you want the concentration, ability to use concentration later. So I'm gonna pocket that for the end of my round. At the end of the turn, I heal my wound from my hand. I get a gold token. Dummy player announces end of round, and I am done with this round. And I have nothing else to heal. Unfortunately, I could usually heal a wound card from my discard pile, but I don't have any. So actually, that's a good thing, I guess. And I lose the gold token. It doesn't carry over. So that is day 1, end of day 1. So it's the start of night 2. I have revealed Frostbridge. And the unit offers, I got peasants, shock troopers, and thugs. Monastery is offering Ice Bolt, which actually is pretty nice. I don't think I'm going to backtrack to get it, but I do want this card. It seems pretty valuable. And I've revealed Meditation as a spell. I still got Mana Bolt and Fire Shield up. I don't expect to be eager to grab those spells, but yeah, let's see how it goes. So for night 2, this is what I have as my starting hand, which is not bad because I have the circlet and I can use that for one of my skills. I'm actually planning to kill this orc, rampaging orc. So let's just go number 1 from the dusk. And the dummy player is going to take a random tactics card out of the deck. Preparation. I'm not happy about that, but it's nice to have sparing power still available later. So what I'm going to do is use the circlet to activate this skill that's in the common offers. And so I'm going to get red and blue. Blue is going to be in my backpack, and I'm going to use the red portion for instinct. Now, I'm not planning to kill this in ranged, and I will eat the damage. So let's take care of that. That's 3 damage poisoned. I have 2 armor, so 2 goes in the discard pile, and 2 goes in my hand. And I'm going to use instinct on the strong portion for 4 attack, sideways promise for 5. It's dead. So I'm able to get 1 more reputation and some experience and level up. So that's not too bad. And the bonus is that I'm standing on the magical glaive, so I can heal at least one wound while I'm staying here. So that's why I took the damage. So the orc is worth only 3, but that's enough to level me up and get me my +1 reputation. And that means I can get a new unit, and I also have an armor of 3, which is pretty nice. So there's my new opening for the unit if I want to get a new one. And now I have 3 armor, which is really nice. I can soak some more damage. I was thinking I used Promise sideways for an attack, but I forgot I have Cold Swordsmanship, which I could have used. But that's okay because I didn't plan to use the influence anyway. So let's continue. End of the turn, I get 1 wound I can heal from my hand or discard pile, and obviously I'm going to heal from my hand first. And draw up to my hand limit, which is 5. Pathfinding and Cold Toughness, that's pretty good. I can start moving out of here and exploring more tiles. And at the end of my turn, I'll get, well, I guess we'll do this in order. Dummy player goes now, so he's drawing 3 cards. Ah, it's green. That means I have to draw 2 more cards. Okay. So at the beginning of my turn, I get a black mana token. I don't plan to use it. I don't have any spells, obviously, so you know what? I think I'm going to play it slow. The dummy player is moving pretty fast, but I do want to crystallize a mana from the mana pool from the source. So I have blue, I have green, so I'm gonna just take red. So playing the red mana from the source, I'm gonna crystallize a red, and that's gonna be my entire turn. I actually could spend... I'm actually gonna play stamina as well to reveal the next tile, and I'm gonna reveal right here, so let's do that for my turn. And we have, let's see. Is that how it goes? Okay, I'm exploring here, but I just want to make sure I'm putting these tiles in correctly. Okay, so we have a mage tower and another rampaging orc. Unfortunately, it's behind some walls. I'm not entirely happy with this tile set, but let's clean up my hand. End of my turn, I heal a wound from my hand, draw up to my hand limit. 3, 4, 5. More movement, and tranquility. Not too happy again. Let's do the dummy player's turn. 1, 2, 3. White, which is great. That means he's gonna slow down a little bit. Okay, so I have some time to think and move. Okay, so I'm gonna use the bottom portion of the scouts, which says I can reveal a new tile from the distance of 2 spaces instead of 1. So that basically gives me 2 movement. I'm 2 spaces away from here. So hopefully I'll be able to get some more knowledge, see my terrain, so I can see where I'm going now. Oh, okay, that's pretty good, I think. Got a rampaging orc and another set of monasteries. I'm going to draw a second advanced action and put it in the units offer, and it'll be Blood Rage. Oh, that's a really good card. So I can get that at the monasteries, if I have the influence, but I don't. I'd have to burn a lot of cards to get that influence. There's a lot of force, and it's nighttime, so I'm trying to make the most use out of pathfinding. So I don't have a green mana in the source, but I do have 1 green mana crystal, so I'm going to use that. That just gives me 4 movement. So 2, 4, and I could attack this orc. And I actually think I will do that. I have a blue block, Cold Toughness. Yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna attack it right now. So let's clear. I already used pathfinding for movement, so I can't. Oh, if I had, that's unfortunate. If I had concentrate, I could potentially kill him in range combat. You know what? I'm gonna slow down a bit. I'm gonna stand on the spot just to grab the green mana. Or sorry, I'm gonna grab the blue mana from the mines, and hopefully the next card I draw will be concentrate. And to facilitate that, I'm actually gonna discard Tranquility because I have nothing to heal from my hand. So that just increases my odds of getting something nice for my next hand. So let's first end of my turn. I'm gonna grab the blue mana and put it into my backpack. I know it's not a backpack, but that's what I call it. Rage, okay. Mana draw. Okay, that's fine. Dummy player's turn. So he's drawing 1, 2, 3. Green, that's unfortunate. 2 more cards. That means dummy player has 4 cards left in his hand. Okay, I'm standing at 6 cards left in my deck. So I'm gonna speed up and start. Let's kill this orc. I can't kill it in range combat. If only I had the scouts. Actually, the scouts would have given me that +1, but that's unfortunate. That's fine. So I'm gonna have to go in melee range. So let's see what he has to block. I have to block. Okay, it's Medusa. That means I need to block it. So Cold Toughness gives me the 6 block I need. I'm gonna, I don't know if this is correct, but I get +1 for each ability on the attacking monster, on attack depicted on the enemy token you block. So that means the Medusa has a +1 because it's got Paralyze. So I'm gonna kind of fudge it. I'm pretty sure I'm playing correctly. That's 6 block, Ice block. So I fully block the Medusa attack, and it runs away after that. Now I can just wail on the summoner. So Cold Swordsmanship is 2, Rage is 2, so it's dead and gone, and I get some experience and a reputation. So there's my +1 rep. I'm from 10 to 14 fame now, so anything I kill next will give me the level up for the next advanced action and skill. During cleanup, since I'm standing on the mine still, I get 1 more blue mana. I've actually maxed out a blue mana. I've got 3 in my backpack, so it's time to move on. I can't stay here anymore and benefit from the mines. So I have a lot. I got Threatened March as my next hands, or as my next cards. Dummy player is drawing 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Red. Great. Okay, so he still has 1 card in his deck. So that's pretty good. That means I get 3 turns, essentially. Okay, I've got a pretty good idea of what I want to do. I'm going to use Mana Draw to get some red mana. So let's do that. I'm going to turn this black into red in the source. That means I get 2 mana tokens here. I plan to use in a second. For this, I'm actually going to use a blue mana for stamina. That's 4 movement. With March on the regular side, that's 6 movement. I have 2 left, and I'm going to explore this area right in front of me here. Okay, so these cards are spent right here. These 2 are in my hand. I'm spending 1 red to get the 5 influence. That means I'm at 6 influence. And I'm going to move my reputation marker by 1 downward, since I have to use the bottom portion to threaten. And now I have a tough choice. These are the 2 choices I have in the monastery. Blood Rage is just great attack. It's a 9 attack at the cost of just, taking a wound, which is nothing. Ice Bolt will give me more reliable crystal generation. It's actually, I feel like it's a pretty tough choice, but I'm going to take Blood Rage. I've already got 2 blue mana in my backpack, so I'm hoping that I won't... I think this might be overkill. So I'm going to leave this in the monastery and put Blood Rage in my deck. This is the dummy player. That's the rest of his deck. So the next turn, he's going to declare end of round. So this is my second to last turn. It's really lucky that I've rolled a green mana in the source, because now I can actually get Concentrate and Swiftness together and get some range attack. So that's kind of the perfect combo to hopefully burn the monastery down. So let's try and do that. I'm putting myself down 3 reputation. So I'm at 0 reputation at this point. Monasteries are purple dudes, so let's see what I'm doing. Perfect. Okay. Fire mages only have 5 armor. So all I have to do, spend a green mana and play Swiftness underneath. That is 5 ranged attack. It's only fire resistant, so I don't have to take damage. And I get a level up from this as well, so let's get some goodies. Okay, so for Burning Monastery I get an artifact guaranteed, and the choice I have is, oh, these are good. These are good. Druidic Staff is kind of just a good general card to have. It gives you a little bit of everything, which is a great thing to have in this game. Endless Gem Pouch just gives me random crystals for the most part, which is really good as well, but I can't really control which crystals I get from that. So, in my head, honestly, Druidic Staff might... I have more control over what I do with Druidic Staff. I think I probably should take Druidic Staff as the correct choice. Endless Gem Pouch is a fun one to have, I guess, because I don't know. I like rolling dice. It's a. In the end, I will take Druidic Staff. I think the movement and the choice of crystals is an important distinction for taking this artifact over kind of the randomness of Endless Gem Pouch. So I'm going to discard Endless Gem Pouch and put this in my deck. So at the beginning of my combat, I already moved my reputation down to the 0 mark. The Fire Mages are worth 5 fame, so I'm from 14 to 19, and that means I get a level up. So I'm going to take Shield Bash. I always forget this is that I actually should take a skill token first before taking the advance action, because if I take a dummy player's skill, then I'm forced to take the bottom advance action. So let's do my skill level up. So I think taking the skill for the movement might be overkill. For now, I'm going to take Goldix's Crystal Generation, which means I'm forced to take Shield Bash, which is actually my choice anyway, because I don't need Frostbridge or Regeneration. So this level up worked in my favor. So I draw up to my hand limit, and dummy player declares end of round, so this is my last round. Blue, okay. This turn actually is going to work pretty well in my favor, so let's do this first. Let's get the Goldix free crystal and token. So token crystal. I'm going to use the top portion of Druidic Staff and discard a red card to ready. Yeah, it says discard a red card, ready a unit. So I'm going to ready the Scouts, which seems stupid, but just bear with me. I'm going to play March and Scouts together for the movement. So I'm going to use 2 movement first to reveal the tile just north here. So let's see what I reveal. Okay, that's actually interesting. I have 2 movement left now at this point. Actually, it's not really cheating, I guess, but technically you can play move cards as much as you need throughout the turn. So I'm just going to say that I'm going to use the Scouts to scout towards that direction and not play my March, because I actually originally was going to go towards the Mage Tower, but I think the runes and the keep are a much more interesting choice and will lead me to better rewards. So let's skip going down south, and I'm going to go towards the north. That ends my movement. I'm actually just going to kill these orcs, and I have the perfect hand because Shield Bash counts twice towards swiftness, so I block it with Shield Bash. I'm going to hit with 2 from Rage and 2 from Cold Swordsmanship. So it's dead, I don't take damage, and I get a reputation. It's only worth 3 fame, so not really great, but you know what? I'll take it. It's an easy thing to do as I'm standing here. I still have March in my hand, but I can't do anything with that. I need 1 more movement to move anywhere, and I don't have the crystals for it. And that's the end of my turn. That's the end of my turn. This is end of night 1, and I feel like I'm doing pretty good. Okay, starting with day 2, I revealed Blood Ritual, which gives me some more crystal generation. I'm eyeballing that. Ritual Attack, which I don't plan to take. I've heard it's a good card, I just don't I don't tend to play it correctly, I don't think. I've got Peasants and Herbalists able to be hired, as well as Magic Familiars. I don't see a viable way to do that at this point, but maybe we'll get to that later. I have training at the monastery, the one monastery, which is not going to happen. I've got an interesting. I got an interesting choice here. I could go towards the mage tower, go towards the village. Towards the village means I can actually hire the peasants or the herbalists and get a spell. If I go north, I could also get the keep, and hopefully in the future, keeps will increase my hand limit by 1 each time I do it. I think I'm going to go towards the mage tower down here by going through the village and making use of my promise. I never really get to use influence that easily, so I'm hoping this will come into play. For my tactics, I'm going to take planning. I have a feeling the dummied player is going to go pretty fast, so I'm hoping planning will help me go through my deck a little faster, I guess. So let's take that. I'm going to keep it in front of me so I'll remember to actually use it. And let's see what the dummy player will take randomly. Rethink. Okay, that means he goes first. 1, 2, 3. It's white, so nothing. He doesn't draw any more cards. Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna spend a gold mana from the pool to move 4 towards a village using pathfinding. I know that's not the greatest use for pathfinding, but I'll need to do that because I need to keep instinct. Use a red crystal to block 4 damage from the rampaging orc, so I don't take any damage. I'm gonna use blood rage and take a wound to my hand. That's 5 attack, plus cold swordsmanship. That's 7 attack. Goes through physical resistance, and it's dead. And I guess I did that to level up, get the reputation. I don't think that was the best use of my hand, but I wanted to keep promise in my hand so I can get some peasants at the next round. So let's try and put that into play. So I level up, get 1 reputation. So I'm from 22 to 26. That means I get a new armor class and hand size, which is great, actually. Because of planning, I can get my hand limit instead of 6, and now it's 7, since wounds actually count as cards in your hand for this specific purpose. It's actually even in the FAQ officially. Okay. And now the dummy player draws his turn. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I had a feeling. 1, 2. Okay. So he drew a green card, which means he drew an additional 2 cards, so he's moving pretty quick. Okay. What was my original plan? I'm standing in the village. I have promise in my hand, which means I could buy some healing, buy the peasants, buy herbalists. Let's figure it out. Okay, actually interesting play. So I'm gonna use Druidic Staff to discard a blue card in my hand. That means I get 2 green crystals. I'll just put in front of me for now. I'll put 1 in my backpack. I'm gonna use 1. I'm gonna use Concentrate to play the bottom portion of Promise for 6 influence. March sideways for 7 influence. And what I'm going to do is recruit peasants for 4 of that influence. I'm down to 3 influence left. And that last 3 influence, I'm just going to heal whatever's in my hand. So that's actually a really good turn. The only unfortunate thing is I have nothing left. I don't have 2 cards in my hand, so planning doesn't come into effect. But honestly, that was a pretty good turn for a non-combat turn. And I got a green crystal out of it, which was pretty good. So pretty good in my book. Oh, hey, perfect. See, I even have tranquility to heal 2 of my wounds in my hand. Well, potentially 2. Okay, dummy player. White. Man, he's going slow this game. He's going slow for this round. 7 cards in the dummy player hand. Meanwhile, I have, I think, 9. So yeah, this is actually not too bad, not too bad. Okay, I've got a really silly turn, I think, in my opinion, but what I'm going to do is use the peasants for 2 influence. I'm going to turn stamina... Yeah, I'm going to turn stamina sideways for 1 more influence. That's 3 influence. That gives me the Herbalist, and he's at the village, so I can get him. Instantly use Herbalist for 1 green mana token, which means I can go and place this on Tranquility, heal 2 from my hand, and you guess what? I have 2 cards in my hand still, so that sets me up for planning perfectly. So let's clean up. I don't know if that was smart use of my peasants, but yeah, that's fine. I wanted to get the healing out. So planning gives me a hand limit of 7. Crazy. Dummy player's turn. Red, wow. Dummy player is going very slow this round. I could actually afford, well, I don't have that much time, but okay. 7 cards in my hand. Let's see what I can do. We're getting to near the end of day 2. My goal is now is to reveal a core tile before night 2 starts, ideally. That will give me more selections for elite units, and that will just open up some more possibilities for either going to ruins, like this one right here, which will give me a free unit, and a free elite unit's pretty big. It might not happen, but regardless, I want to reveal that tile. So first of all, I'm going to play Swiftness for 2 movement, just to reveal this portion here. Because my original plan was to go to the Mage Tower and kill this Poisoners, or whatever they're called, Sorcerers. But the 3 spells I have to choose from are just not that great in my situation. I mean, Burning Shield could be useful, but I don't have... Well, actually... If I go towards the Mage Tower, this combo could let me play Burning Shield whenever I feel like it. Though, going through the desert during the daytime is not fun. You know what? I'm actually going to go for that Mage Tower. The spell won't... It would be my first spell, so I don't have too many in my hand. It's not going to muck up my deck too much. So I'm hoping that'll Fire Shield will pay off. So I have 0 movement now. I'm going to use... okay. Mana draw using the white mana. I'm going to turn this black mana to blue. Get 2 blue mana tokens. And I'm just going to put those on there and right now. Because I'm moving... I have 4 movement from stamina. 5 playing Threatened Sideways. And now I'm in combat with this Sorcerers. So no rain. I'm not going to kill it in siege combat, so I'm going to block it with Cold Toughness. Gives me 5 block, so I take no damage. I'm going to play Rage using my skill. That gives me a red token and actually a blue crystal, but since I'm maxed out, I know it's hard to see, but I already have 3 blue crystals in my backpack. This is going to turn into a token and go away unless I use it at the end of this round, but I plan to use it. So 4 damage, 5/6. Sorcerers are dead, and that means I get a spell. So let's take care of that. I have enough movement. I feel like underground travel would have been good if I did not pick up Pathfinder. So let's take Burning Shield. I should have lost 1 reputation at the beginning of that combat, so I'm back to neutral 0. It was worth 4 fame, so I'm at 30 fame now from 26. Let's reveal a new spell, which probably doesn't matter. There you go. Excuse me. With the last card of my hand, Crystallize. I'm using my 4th blue mana crystal before it goes away to crystallize I'm gonna take white actually. I don't have any skills that would give me that color, so I think it's either green or white. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna take white because my first choice would have been green. I have one green in my backpack, which should be good enough. So hopefully that'll do. That means I spent everything in my hand. I can't use planning, unfortunately. Hey, that's nice. Dummy player's turn. It's green, which means I draw 2 more, which I can't. That is the entirety of it, the dummy player's deck. So he's going to announce end of round next turn. Let's see what I can do. I'm really surprised, actually. Scouts is actually paying off pretty well, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the third action down here and reveal a spot that I think I'd have to move through just to reveal, but I don't want to cross through deserts right now if I can help it. So let's use the scouts 2 movement and to reveal the first core tile, which is great. A green city for a level 5 green city. I don't remember how tough they are, but poison damage actually doesn't seem like it's going to be an issue, so actually I'm not too worried about that. The only downside is that a green city as the second city, level 8, might have been easier to kill, but now I'm facing the possibility of a white level 8 city, or what was it? I think the blue one. So the white city has more armor, the blue city has more elemental damage, so those are pretty deadly. So I'm actually gonna have a pretty tough late game, I think. I would have preferred to have the poison as the green city as the second city, I think, because poison really isn't terrible. You just lose more points, I guess, if you score at the end. I don't tend to score. Okay, so I'm using the circlet of proficiency to use the skill in the skill offer for 2 movement plus 4 movement. That's 6. Swiftness 7, 8. So I can reveal the second core tile. So let's see what we have here. That's pretty good. Okay, I'm standing still here. I have 1 movement point left. And I'm going to spend the last 2 cards in my hand. That's 3 movement. I'm going to go straight onto the hill here. So I'm ready. So I'm ready for next round to just straight up attack. And that would be actually, for once, dummy player declares end of round, and I have nothing to play. So end my turn. I haven't been showing these, but the dummy player is taking this card, which is blue, and getting another green crystal into its backpack. So this is what the dummy player looks like. 4 green crystals, 3 blue crystals. And I've put another blue card in his deck, and he's taken 2 green cards already. So he's going to be moving, when he moves fast, he's going to move very, very fast. I'm not looking forward to that. Kickoff night 2, I revealed Intimidate, which is great. Pretty close contender to... Actually, I would pick Intimidate over Blood Ritual. Both very, very great cards. For my elite unit choices, Heroes, which I don't value range attack that strongly. But Ultimate Mages, oh man. If I can get this, that would be great. Especially since that would combo extremely well with what I have in the skill, as a skill already. Magic Familiars, okay. And Call to Arms as a spell. I don't think I'm going to actually care about that, but, you know, it's nice. I don't care about these advance offers. Now, as much as I want to go backwards 4 hexes to get that free unit, I think I'm going to hold off on that. I'm already standing on the spawning grounds, which is 2 brown units, which gives me an artifact if I can defeat them both. So I believe I'm going to do that. My tactic, I'm definitely going to take Mana Search because I've got 3 blue, 3 blue mana in there, so I'm definitely taking Mana Search. Let's see who goes first. I think there is a small chance that he could pick... Oh, Sparing Power. My last game he took Sparing Power too, man. Okay, well I'm not going to be able to get that at round 3. But good news is I start first. And what I'm going to do, let's do it. Let's go for the spawning grounds. Let's see what we have to deal with. Minotaur and giant worm. I forgot the actual name. Some type of worm. That's actually great. I think it could have gone worse. I could have gotten another Medusa. Okay, so first off, I don't have enough ranged combat, so let's go into melee range. I'm going to eat the worm's damage directly on myself. 2 damage to my hand, so that's his attack. I'm going to block the Minotaur with Cold Toughness. I'm going to use the mana source from the blue mana from the source. So that's 5 block the Minotaur, so I don't take any wounds. Now, green crystal, let's concentrate on instinct. That gives me 6 attack to kill the worm, so that's dead. And the remaining of my hand, turn sideways, 3 attack, peasants for 5 attack, minotaurs are dead. That could have gone worse actually, but I'm happy with how that turned out. And if I really want to, I could use the herbalist to get back my peasants, which I'll probably end up doing. Unless the green mana in my backpack is worth more than that. Oh, you know what? No. I have cold swordsmanship. Okay. 3... Okay, here's 3 attack plus 2. I don't even have to spend my peasants. Fantastic. In that case, I actually might use herbalist just to put back my green mana into my backpack and use a green crystal there. So, perfect. That's my turn. That means I get the total 9 fame. And let's get the reward for this. Let's do this. So, spawning ground gives me mana, 3 mana die rolled, and an artifact. So, let's do that. Okay, I believe that means 1 fame. Yes, 1 fame and those 2 mana tokens. Pretty nice, actually. I needed these in my backpack. So there's that. 1 fame. Let's remember that. So I'm from 30 to 31 from the spawning grounds. Get an artifact and get to choose from Amulet of Darkness or Tome of All Spells. At this point, I feel like I'm pretty mana rich, so I feel like Amulet of Darkness will not pay it. Tome of All Spells feels like it might pay off pretty well in the end. Especially since I have Call to Arms in the spell offer for at least maybe 2 turns, at the very least. More than likely three rounds. So I think this might actually be pretty good. I could actually just throw away Tome of All Spells and grab the Ultimate Mages right now, I believe. I'll have to check that. But yeah, let's take the Tome of All Spells. I don't need the Amulet of Darkness. Okay, so I get 9 fame from those 2 monsters, from 31 to 40. Already got 1 extra fame from the spawning grounds random die roll, so let's do the skill up. I have these 2 new skills to choose from. Oh, motivation and what is it? Feel no pain or whatever it's called. I'm sorry, I don't know the skills by name. Okay, so these are my choices here. But the ones I'm actually going to pick is actually... I should honestly probably take motivation. I'm leaning towards taking the movement as well. Again, I tend to screw myself quite badly when I don't have movement. But motivation does help me if I need it in a pinch. Okay, I'm gonna take the movement. Only because I can use it every single turn. And this almost guarantees that I'm not gonna screw myself by not being able to reach the city, so. Okay. I grab that. I'm grabbing... It's really two choices for me in my eyes. But I'll bring them all out. Ritual attack. Throw away action cards to get high attacks. Blood ritual gets me red crystals. And intimidate just gives me a pretty high attack at the cost of reputation. You know what? Let's just take intimidate. I think that might be the safer choice. Intimidate. Let's do it. Okay. Finished my level up, so let's see what the dummy player does. Oh, I got lucky. Okay, it was red, so he doesn't draw any more cards. For this round, since he's going slow, I'm actually going to try and just stand here and heal. So let's see. Green, please. Hey, okay. Green, let's use Tranquility. Heal 2 from my hand. It seems like I had accidentally had too many cards in my hand. I don't know how I did that. Okay, so I'm just going to retcon this a little bit. There you go. 6 cards in my hand. It's not Mage Knight if you don't get some of the rules wrong. Am I right? Okay. End of my turn. Ah. Okay. I'm at 6. I've got a depleted mana in the source. And now the dummy player will draw 3. Green. Okay. That's 4 extra cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good news was he drew some of the green cards already, so I won't be seeing those again. But still, that is deadly. Okay, so what I plan to do, let's do mana search first of all. I need to kill these 2 orcs near the green city, because if I move in any direction, I'm going to provoke them, either through going into the city or moving around them or whatever. So I'm gonna spend 5 movement. I'm gonna play stamina using a blue crystal, plus 1 more movement using whatever that is. And that's 5 movement. I'm moving on to the swamp. I think this should be pretty easy combat. I don't have enough ranged combat, so they're gonna have to be in melee range. 2 attacks from here. I'm gonna have this guy soak 1. I'm going to have the peasants soak another. Actually, before any of this, let's see what the summoner has for an attack. Oh, Jesus. Okay. So realistically, these are my attacks I need to block. Okay. Great. Okay. Peasant blocks the orcs. That's fine. Okay. Hydras. Shield Bash blocks 1 instance. And I might just eat the other 2 damage, to be honest. Peasants eat the 2nd damage. And I will eat the 3rd damage myself. Now, all I need to do, generate 8 attack, and I'll be good to go. 4 attack from Rage. 5, 6, 7 from Intimidate, 8, 9. These 2 orcs are dead. I spent way too many resources killing that guy. So I'm going to lose the 1 reputation, but gain 2. So, and the only things I have left in my hand are 1 wound, 1 pathfinding, and Tome of All Spells. I really want a white card for this. So let's clean up and see what I get. Like I said, I moved 1 down, 2 up, so I'm right here. And reputation, that was only 6 fame, so I'm at 40. Now I'm at 46. Close to leveling up, I guess. Now that I'm next to the green city, let's see what he is going to attack me with. Yeesh. Okay. So, got mean mages, brutal magic familiars, and gunners. Now, I think these 2... Oh, that's brutal and poison on the magic familiars, if I am playing that correctly. Because the green city gives poison to all these dudes with normal attack. So, yeah, that's pretty nasty. Okay, here's hoping that I get a white card now. 4, 5, yes, 6. I didn't take over any keeps, and I'm next to a city. Well, I don't, either way, I have a hand limit of 6. Dummy player, what are you doing this turn? Blue. Oh, jeez. That's 3 additional cards. 1, 2, 3. I feel like that's all the blue and green cards in his deck. But his deck is... that's his deck. That means I have 3 turns left, basically. I have 8 cards in my deck left. I can make use of this. This is not too bad. Okay. Mana search. Let's do the thing I've been waiting for this whole time. Yeah. Okay. Let's do mana search first, just to get it out of the way. Man, okay. Okay, here it is. Let's do this. Tome of All Spells. I'm going to throw away this card by I'm using the bottom portion. Discard any color card, in this case white. Use the stronger effect of a spell of the same color of the spell offer without playing its mana cost. You may do so even during the day. Doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm tossing this. I'm going to discard Swiftness, which is white. And I'm going to play the bottom portion of Call to Glory. Recruit any 1 unit from the offer for free. And Alta Mages. My other option would be heroes, the white heroes actually, but honestly, no. Range attack is, no. I'm taking the Ultimate Mages. He can turn any attack into siege if I play black mana, which is nuts, absolutely nuts. So I'm gonna discard Herbalist. I got pretty good use out of them. I mean, despite me hating them, I actually use them pretty often, so that's good. And I'm actually gonna, that was just using a special ability. So I'm actually not gonna move or attack this round. I'm gonna use standard rest. I'm discarding March from my hand to discard wound into my hand. Discard wound into my discard pile, and hoping I'll draw something nice to attack with next turn. So this is the end of my turn. March, land draw, rage, druidic staff. Hey, okay. I can work with that. Dummy player draw three cards. And this is my second to last round at this point. Okay, let's use mana search. Black and blue. Okay. So I'm 1 step away from the city, so I have 2 movement to get in there. That's fine, I have plenty of it. Okay, since I have a black mana in the source, I'm using that to use it since it's a nighttime. I could use that for Ultimate Mages. The very bottom portion of here, like I said earlier, was that all your attacks become siege attacks in addition to any elements they have. So I'm choosing that one. I don't need cold fire attack, but I would like to do siege damage to all these things. Okay, so I have that set. Now I'm going to use mana draw so I can play an additional mana from the source, power rage. I have a red. I'm going to use the skill here to get a blue crystal and a red token. Blood Rage. That is 13 attack. And before I forget, March, I'm moving into the Green City. I believe cities, I lose 2 reputation just by going in. All I need to do is kill these 2 dudes in siege combat. So I have 13 here, which is actually perfect. Kill these 2 guys in range combat with 13 damage by using the powerful portion of Blood Rage and Rage. There you go. I'm gonna take a wound in my hand. Oh, no big deal. I'm gonna keep that there. That means, and it's siege damage. It doesn't even matter. So these two are actually just dead straight up. So I'm gonna flip them over in range combat. Nice. Now, I kind of don't care what happens from this point. I'm going to take the damage for this. So that's 2 wounds in my hand and 2 in my discard pile. That still leaves me able to kill him if I can. So there's 2 in my hand, 2 in my discard. Okay, pretty good still. Pretty damn good. I'm happy with that. 12 fame from this. And that means I get kicked out of the city since I couldn't kill it on this turn. Nice. So assaulting a city only costs 1 reputation, so I'm actually at neutral at this point. 12, that means I level up. So I am now at 4 armor, which is nice. And theoretically I can get another unit. After combat I still can play special abilities, so actually what I'm going to do, Druidic Staff, discard a green card, I heal 3. That is amazing actually. I don't think I've ever used Druidic Staff this well. Well, there's my 3 wounds I took, and it's completely healed, went away. End of my turn, I draw the rest of my hand. Dummy player announces end of round, and this is my final turn. Let's see if I can kill the last dudes in here in the city. I think I accidentally took the 4th blue crystal in my backpack, so I'm gonna discard it. Anyway, my last turn is actually pretty easy. I think I'm still 2 moving away from the city, so let's use swiftness to move into it. I lose 1 reputation, so I'll take care of that. I only have to deal with the sorcerers. I don't have siege to kill it, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play Burning Shield with the red mana. I block his attack by, I have 4 block. Could use these 2 cards sideways to generate the last 2 block I need. So, no damage, no poison damage, etc. Oh, wait. Oh, no, okay. So, I keep running into this. Arcane immunity, the bottom portion of this may not work if it completely destroys an enemy. But if a spell generates attack for you, that isn't impacted. Arcane immunity doesn't impact generation of attack as far as I know. So I'm going to play it that way. Which means I have 4 attack, and with the last 2 cold swordsmanship, I have killed the sorcerers, or sorry, I don't even know what they're called. Either way, they are dead. I get 5 fame, and I got my first city at night 2. This is actually one of my better games. I'm pretty shocked that it's going this well. I'm gonna clean up, and we will do day 3. At the end of my turn, I'm actually going to use the scouts. They can reveal a tile from 2 away. I have 2 movement. I'm at the city. Let's reveal right here. Oh. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Level 8 white castle. 3 white units, 1 keep unit. Everything plus 1 armor. Pretty nasty. But like I said, I was kind of expecting something like this. Okay, so those magic dudes are worth 5 fame, so I'm at 58. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just barely perfect. Oh man, this game is going too well. Okay, these are my 2 skill choices. Oh man. Okay. I have choices down here. I feel like this skill, resistance break is pretty good. Like, I'm expecting some of these white units to be I think one of them are champions or like warriors that have those 3 or 2 resistances. That's absolutely crazy to make that an armor -2 or 3. I think that's just going to be my choice. I don't know. The only other choice I can think of is maybe motivate. Yeah, let's take it. I'm going to take resistance break. For my skill, magic talent, or blood ritual, or ritual attack. And I feel like ritual attack might actually be the one to take. I am pretty mana rich at this point. I don't need ritual attack. And magic talent would have been good earlier in the game. So let's take ritual attack. With that will be that'll be night 2, the end of night 2. So I'll come back, we'll do day 3 and actually see if I can finish this game, because it's actually looking pretty good. I'm pretty positive outlook on this. So let's see. So starting off with day 3, I revealed Mana Storm, which is actually a pretty nice card to have on almost any Mage Knight. It's basically a more powerful mana draw. I have the freezers and the sorcerers as my elite options that I could grab. The freezers are actually pretty nice because they prevent somebody from attacking, so that's one I could eyeball for later. So a few things to get cleared up in the beginning of day 3. Since I'm at a city and I'm the leader, in a solo game I'm always the leader, I get to draw 2 extra cards over my hand limit, which is 6. So I will get 2 more cards. I'll be at 8. And one of the 2, I have to pick one of these 2. As a solo player, I actually never, I need to read up on this, but I don't think there's ever a reason in my eyes to use the right moment. There's no benefit to go twice if you're playing on your own, so I'm going to take Great Start, which means I'm going to start with a hand limit of 10, and I'm going to go first. So I'll keep that, and I'll be at a hand limit of 10. Unfortunately, I don't know if I can actually make use of this 10 limit hand for this one turn, but let's see what we can do. So the last turn you saw me pass up Magic Talent, but upon looking at the spell offer, I could potentially keep Call to Arms in play and use the bottom portion somehow at night 3. So what I'm going to do is try and generate some influence and get that card. Okay, so I'm actually going to use the more powerful version, so I'm going to get 8 influence, plus 3 from the city, plus 1 more. That will give me 12 influence, and each advanced action will cost 6 influence. So with that, I'm going to take Magic Talent and hopefully use the top portion to get Call to Arms in play next round. And I'm also going to pick up Mana Storm, which lets me power up and use a lot more of the source to my advantage. And what I'm revealing in the advanced offers, Song of Wind, I doubt I'm going to use anymore. And counterattack is my third option, which might not be a bad choice. I'm also going to use Crystallize using one of my own blue tokens, or sorry, blue crystals, and get, I think I want to get another green mana crystal. Just because I have the skill to get more blue, so I'm not too worried about being short on blue. Okay, I drew up to 8, so now let's see what the dummy player draws. Ah, green. So that's, oh boy, how many cards? 5 extra cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Man, I don't think I've ever had a dummy player that crazy. I think I'm gonna have to go straight into the keep after exploring this top empty portion up here. So let's go ahead and do that. So before I move anywhere, I'm still going to use these scouts, and I'm going to explore 2 tiles away from me using the 2 movement that it's generated. So let's see what's revealed. Oh, that's actually pretty nice. Oh, okay. That actually is a pretty nice one to be dealt. This is actually a great setup, because if I can get if I can kill this rune, I can get a free elite unit and an artifact. Pretty nice. I can kill the dragon for more experience. That's actually likely to be mandatory if I'm going to go for the runes, just because of the location, and it's rampaging. So if I move from here down here, I'll be forced to attack it. But afterwards, if I clean up these 2 keeps, I'm going to have a hand limit of 2 plus whatever I have on my level. That's pretty good. I'm going to use 1 blue mana. I have 4 stamina, so I'm going to move from the city just right outside to the magical glaive. I'm also going to use Mana Storm on the regular portion, which doesn't use a mana from the source directly. What it says is to take a crystal of a color of a mana from the source and then re-roll that dice. So I can actually still use this without having to actually use a dice from the source. So let's do that. I'm going to grab a green crystal, and I'm going to re-roll this dice at the end of the round, or end of the turn. Now, the reason I did this was because now I am still next to the city, which will give me the +2 bonus on my hand limit. So I'll draw up to 8. Dummy player's turn. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's a green card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's pretty nasty. Dummy player's at 4 cards, so I'm at 4 to 3 turns left in my round. So I gotta act pretty fast on this game. Okay, so plan is still move to the ruins and get the unit. So I'm going to use stamina without it. I'm going to use stamina as the regular portion. Use my skill. That's 4 movement, and we're at the ruin. So let's see how we're going to be able to handle this. Fire ice dragon plus I think orc. I don't know what to call it. Scouts. Fire, ice, resistance, and brutal. I can basically ignore the orcs, but still, that's pretty tough. Let's see. Okay, you see why I always take the skill. It just feels like it pays off way more often than it doesn't. So it's really damn good. So this is essentially a 7 armored dragon. So that's 2 less armor than I have to worry about. Okay, so I'm going to skip range combat, but I will block it. With these 2 mana I'm spending right here, I'm going to use Cold Toughness, which means effectively this is 9 block, since it's 4 special abilities on the dragon. That's 9 block. I still need to generate, I believe, 4 more, at least 3 more, to get 12 regular block. Fire block 4 will, that will count towards that. So I do block the fire ice attack, so I won't take any damage from him. But I think I'll just take the 1 damage from the orc, so that's fine. So there's 1 in my hand. Now for the attack portion, resistance, I get effectively 2 damage from the fire attack since it's fire resistance. So that's 7 minus 2, 5 armor left. I'm going to use Concentrate. I'm going to use Concentrate with Swiftness to get that 5 physical damage. So that will kill the dragon and it will be dead. Now all I need to do is generate 4 attack. There we go, to kill the orcs, and that's done and done. So overall, pretty good combat. I only took 1 damage, and I was able to kill both of these guys with 2 cards left to spare in my hand. So before I end the turn and get all my rewards, I'm actually going to use the bottom portion of Magic Talent, using a blue mana crystal from my backpack. I'm going to actually grab... Oh, sorry, I need to pay white as well, so there's my white. I'm going to actually grab Call to Arms, and I'm hoping, since I have so much mana generation and manipulation with Mana Storm and Mana Draw, I'll be able to get the black mana and get another additional elite unit. So let's do that. Clean up my area here. Okay, before I get the experience, or sorry, fame, I'm going to take care of this. So let's do the artifact first. My choice is from Book of Wisdom or Banner of Glory. I think I'm actually going to go with Book of Wisdom. It lets me throw away some cards from my deck, which actually works out pretty well because, you know, it's night 3. Usually you want to get rid of some of the cards in your hand, especially if they're like not super helpful, like usually Swiftness and some extra movements that I don't need anymore. That's a good target for getting rid of cards. And Banner of Glory, the only reason I might get that is to get 1 more armor on the Ultra Mages, which is actually pretty tempting as well. No, it's fine. I'm going to take Book of Wisdom. I don't tend to like the banners, so let's take this one. Now, with my plans, I already have the skill to get the blue mana, so I'm leaning towards the freezers, just so I am more guaranteed to use this skill. But the sorcerer's removal of fortification is really tempting. I just am running out of white mana crystals, so I feel like that might be a tough one to argue for. So I'm going to take the freezers, and hopefully I can negate 1 attack, and we'll make use of that. I'm going to get 12 total fame from this, so from 63 to 75. No reputation change. And the new spell is Offering. Okay. Let's draw up to 6. Ouch, ouch, ouch. 3 wounds. That's a pretty tough draw, especially since I'm running out of time. Let's see what the dummy player does with his last 4 cards in the deck. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's green. Okay. That was a fast turn. Okay, so this is my second to last turn, right here. Okay, I've decided to kill the dragon. So what I'm going to do is just use Pathfinding. I believe I'm going to have to use the... Oh, no. Okay, so Pathfinding along with my movement skill gives me 4. And that's enough to move right here. And that provokes the dragon. Using the crystal skill, pocket the green, pocket the blue in my backpack. I get a red token. Now I'm going to use the blue mana from the source and use this one that prevents the dragon from attacking me. And it's essentially a 6 armor non-attacking dragon, which is actually pretty great. I'll activate Ultimate Mages. That gives me 5 attack. I'll place Threaten 6 sideways, and that's my 6th attack. Since it's at armor 6, it is dead. So there you go. That is 7 fame and 2 reputation. Actually, I could keep the Threaten in my hand, which I might do. So let's use the Ice Cold Swordsmanship and keep the Threaten in my hand, which I'm going to use in a second. Before I end the round, I'm going to throw away an action card using Book of Wisdom, and I'm going to get another red action card from the offer. Excuse me, from the offer. So I'm going to get counterattack, and that'll go into my hand. The new action in the offer will be Maximal Effect. Oh man, that one's pretty good. I don't think I've ever used it, but you can triple or double some cards in your hand, which is pretty nuts. But again, I've never used it myself, but it sounds pretty great. Got 7 experience, fame, and 2 reputation, so I leveled up. That means I have a hand limit of 7 now, and I can get 1 more unit if I so choose. So I'll draw up to my new hand limit, which is 7, 5, 6, 7. And now the dummy player is going to announce end of round. So this will be my last turn. I'm going to use the circlet in my hand to play a skill from the offer, which is motivation. So I'm going to draw 2 more cards. Hopefully this will let me attack the keep. Okay, I'm going to go for this keep down here right next to the city. So here's my 4 movement to walk into the keep. I lose 1 reputation off screen. We'll eat the damage, which is only 6. So that means I take 2 wounds into my hand. And all I'm going to do is play counterattack sideways and 2 attack. That equals 5 attack. And that means I take over this keep. So with 5 armor, he's dead with my attacks. With that move, I can actually see what's in the city, so let's take a look. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Okay, we got some nasty ones. I think these are the champions. That's the perfect target I was looking for resistance break, so that'll be not as bad. I have the freezers, which have swiftness and paralyzing, which is always pretty tough. I'd need fire block to actually effectively block that, but we'll make do. And oh, that's pretty good. Well, not great, but he's arcane immune. He can't be fortified, but it's 11 attack and 10 armor. And remember, I don't want to forget, everything in this city has +1 armor. Also, there's some crossbowmen, but you know, usually the gray ones are pretty negligible at this point. So that's what I'm gonna have to deal with. My hand limit is effectively 9, since I'm next to a keep that I own. And now it is the end of the round. So I'll clean up and we will start night 3. And as I'm cleaning up, I want you to take a look at what was at the bottom of the offers. We've got another green card to give to the dummy player, and another green crystal to give to the dummy player. So he is stacked with, was it 6? 6 green mana in his pool. So if he pulls any green cards, he's gonna go through his deck. I can't believe it actually let this happen. Usually I think good players, and I'm definitely not a great player, but good players are trying to prevent this from happening. But honestly, I'm not going to take these cards in my hand. Like, I have no reason to take these cards in my hand, so it's either take a useless card or feed the dummy player greens. And I guess I fed the dummy player, so what are you going to do? It's becoming less and less relevant, but I revealed for the offers, Swift Bolt gives me white mana. For the elite units, which might matter the most, I've got Ice Golem and Catapults up for elites, along with the Northern Monks, and Space Bending for a spell, but again, I don't think these are going to come into play. Now, before I draw my hand, I've got a tricky... I plan to... I have the Ultimate Mages, so I can turn all of my attacks into Siege, and a lucky break is that I actually rolled the black mana at night, so I can use that, and I plan to, but it depends on what I draw, and what I draw depends... what I pick for tactics depends on what I draw. I have about 34 cards in my deck, and that's not... I don't have a lean deck for sure, so these are the two choices. I have Midnight Meditation and Long Night, and Long Night is if I believe I can actually get to the bottom of my deck, but I honestly don't think I will. I think the right choice would be Midnight Meditation, but that guarantees the dummies player is going to go first, and that can be quite devastating. But if I'm looking for a card, I need Midnight Meditation, so I think the right choice is Midnight Meditation. But let me draw my hand first. Okay, I don't think it's a question anymore. I'm taking Midnight Meditation. I'm going to toss Long Night, so dummy player will go first. Let's see the damage. 2. It's a green card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Dummy player has gone through 9 cards in 1 turn. Now it's mine. Okay. This is going to be a pretty smooth turn in my eyes. Okay. Let's move into the city. Use the scouts, 2 movement. I lose 1 reputation for walking into the White City. Okay. I got to remember all these units have +1 armor to everything, so let's calculate this out. Okay, I've done the math. I think this works out. Let's walk through this. This is level 8 city, effectively 11 armor, effectively 8 armor, back to 7 armor using resistance break. So that's a total of 18 armor, plus 5, which is 23 armor effectively. And I'm going to ignore these champions because I can't kill them in siege combat. So for now, forget they exist. They are sitting at the city. That's fine, whatever. Okay, with that in mind, 23 armor I'm going to burn through. So let's use the black mana from the source. Power Ultimate Mages. All of my attacks I generate now is sieged, so I need 23 any attack. So let's do this. Freezers give me 5. I'm going to concentrate Ritual Attack, throwing away a green card. Green cards are worth 3, but effectively this is 5 siege damage. Okay. I have a total of 10 right now from these 2. Using my skill token, I can generate the needed red for rage. That's 14. I'm going to use Instinct. That is 18. I have Cold Swordsmanship. That's 20. And using the white mana in my backpack, that is 23 using Swiftness. 23 damage in attack with Ultimate Mages effectively gives me exactly 23 attack to kill these 3 units in siege combat. No blocking, no damage, no nothing. I've already calculated the +1 on the armor, it's siege damage, so it will go through these 2 units. And, you know, it doesn't matter about this guy. I am not... Arcane immunity does not matter in any of these cases, so all 3 of these units are dead in siege combat. That is so smooth. I've never had a level 8 city go that well. But let's finish this up. I killed these 3 units in siege combat. And now all I have to do is eat the damage of 5, but you know, that's so inconsequential. I have 2 wounds in my hand. 2 wounds in my hand now. And I'm kicked out of the city, so I'm back here. And let's clean this up. I cannot believe I killed 3 units in a level 8 city with siege damage. That's actually pretty insane. So what's left in my hand is 4 wounds, but honestly, with Midnight Meditation, I'll be able to finish off the last dude in the White Castle. But let's calculate my 18 fame, see if that gets me anywhere. So 86, 18 would be 104. I actually did level up, so let's go through this. I've got, I think it's I Don't Give a Damn, and the cooperative skill. You know what? Let's get the motivation. I should have taken motivation earlier, so let's just take it now, just as a safeguard. And for my advanced action, let's do maximal effect. Yeah, I can throw away a card and hopefully we can get some good attack out of that. Okay, my effective hand limit is 8. Since I'm on the keep that I own, I only have 1 keep I own. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let's take care of the dummy player. 1, 2, 3. It's white. Wow. Okay. I'm going to use Midnight Meditation, shuffle up to 5 cards into the D deck, and then draw that many cards. So I will do just that. I have 5 wounds. I'm going to shuffle it. Okay, what are my 5 cards? Got... Okay, that didn't give me the impact I really needed, but that's fine. Actually, I don't need anything. I'm pretty set for this game. Let's clean this. Let's finish this off, right? Let's just play motivation. Get my blue mana token. Draw 2 more cards. Have Druidic Staff. Nice. Okay. Let's do this. Stamina. Using my skill, I move inside the city. I lose a reputation. Okay, it's unfortunate, but what I'm going to do is throw away the Druidic Staff to get some crystals, because I have no red in order to do what I'm planning to do. So here's my 2 red. And also I'm going to use the this bottom portion here to heal 3. Just, you know, if I was scoring, then I could get some more points that way. Unfortunately, I lose Druidic Staff. Okay, back to what I was saying. I'm using Rage with the red crystal. Turn Book of Wisdom sideways. That's 5 block. So I can block the champions. And now all I need is effectively, he's at armor 4 with my resistance break. So I just need 8 physical damage to kill him. So what I'll need to do, I'm going to actually use maximal effect on the top portion, and that means I get counter attack 3 times on the basic side. So that's 4, 4, 4, 12 attack, which is more than enough to kill the champions. Unfortunately, I have to throw away counter attack, so you know, if I scored, that actually would score me less points, but totally worth it. And honestly, I think that was overkill. I still have Cold Swordsmanship, so he is dead. 8 fame. And that's it. I actually have one more turn. I'm in the city, and the only thing I really need to do to take my turn is basically get as many points as I can, but let's play it out. Let's play it out. In this case, since I've already won, the dummy player doesn't take another turn, so let's clean up and take my last turn. Hand limit of 9. And really all I'm going to do is, since I'm in the city, I have effectively 3 influence in the white city, and I'm going to generate as much influence as I can to get, I guess, some more units. I could replace the peasants, and let's see what I can buy. So I'm going to stay in the city, get 2 red mana crystals, use Intimidate, that gets me 9 influence, sorry, that gets me 8 influence, plus 3, that's 11 influence, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 influence, which gets me perfectly the 2 elite units. Man, so that was actually one of the easiest victories I've had for a solo conquest. I started off with a level 5 green city, which was pretty easy. MVPs for the game, definitely a game changer was that combo. So let's say I got the Tome of All Spells, so I was able to discard a white card, and I was able to play this for free, Call to Glory, and it got me basically free Ultimate Mages. I definitely wasn't in any position to get the Ultimate Mages in the city. Well, it basically made getting the first city, I got it before I conquered the first city, so that made things infinitely more easier. This is actually one of the only games I've ever been able to reliably get black mana to pay for the siege attacks, and that's insane. I can see why people overvalue this card. Not overvalue it, but like, it is definitely a game changer if you have the availability and the nighttime use of it. That's crazy. So definitely this 3, probably the biggest swing I got for the entire game. These 3 as a combo. Druidic Staff was a very solid pick for me. I was able to heal. I was healing at the end, just to, if you care about score, heal 3 is pretty good. But being able to ready some of the units, I was able to ready, I think, Herbalist at least once, or Presence. Either way, and I got a lot of crystals out of this. At the very end, I was also able to get the red manas in order to finish my attack. So without that would have been harder to finish the game. The very boring skill, but very, very solid. Like, I don't think this is ever a bad choice from my point of view. Also, Goldix's mana generation, pretty key to getting me where I needed to go, especially for the red mana token and the blue crystal. I use that quite often, so that's nice. I said it multiple times, Pathfinding, pretty damn good movement card. If I had to pick one of the newest advanced action cards that had more movement, I think this, and maybe, what was the one? There was a blue one that gives you movement and lets you refresh the card basically back into your hand. That would probably be my second choice, but this is a pretty solid, this is the movement card you want. And I got really lucky. Usually you're lucky, you're happy if you get one of these 2 cards, but I was able to get both. Very, very worth it. Unless you're like Neurowas, or I don't know how to pronounce the guy that likes reputation and fame, or sorry, reputation and influence to get more troops. This might be pretty hard to play with him, but honestly, it's still worth taking. Very, very easy picks. Shield Bash, I actually got use out of. I tend to take Shield Bash, and sometimes you really need to find the enemy with swiftness to actually get the most use out of it. Otherwise, it's just kind of like an okay block card. And unfortunately, the fun cards I actually ended up picking, I wasn't able to use. It wasn't really key in my play. Like, these are fun cards, but again, I didn't. Even in past games, I haven't been able to easily use these. Sadly, you know what? I said it multiple times. Scouts paid off a lot more often than I thought it would. Peasants, boring card, but man, it is always useful. Like, you can always find a use for peasants. I know I left them wounded for nearly half the game, but the first half, pretty good. Freezers, that's a pretty high attack. Like, I don't think I used the bottom portion, or maybe I did, I don't remember. Either way, pretty strong card. And again, the only reason I was able to get this was, I believe I used the second. I think I used, I don't remember. Either way, I got him somehow. Pretty good, solid card. And this, again, I think this is the guy that haunts me in my dreams. And every time I see this card, every time I see this skill, I pick it up. Because, man, if you ever see this, dude, and you don't have ways to circumvent the resistance somehow, or you don't have, if you have like a massive attack, you need to have a massive attack, basically. But with the resistance break, it's doable. It's tolerable. Otherwise, it's a pain in the neck. Yeah, anything else I got from the end of the game was not too bad. I was a little worried about the Green City. Having brutal poison on the magical familiars is pretty crazy, but I was able to bypass that, so that's good. Cards I wish I used more often, these two, but again, Magic Talent, I tend to look at the bottom portion more often, but the top one actually paid off more, since I could actually just cast a spell without having to put it into my deck. And again, Book of Wisdom, I don't tend to get this early in the game, unfortunately, but still a pretty good card. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next game.